Well, this may look like a Rivian R1S that you may or may not have seen on the road for the past year or two. This is actually what Rivian is calling the second generation Rivian R1S, which is being launched alongside the second generation Rivian R1T pickup truck. Well, visually, there aren't that many changes other than these cool new rims. Underneath, there are a lot of changes that really do justify this car being called Gen 2. So let's see what all of those changes are. If you are looking at buying or leasing a new car, it could be a new EV like the Rivian R1S and R1T or the Lucid Air, but it doesn't have to be. It could be gas, diesel, manual sports car, minivan, whatever. I can help by curating a customized list of vehicle recommendations that fit your needs. Visit drakemoscow.com/buying a car to see how I can help you find a new car. Let's start with a few visual changes. You can get these new optional range rims. These are aero rims. They make the car a little more aerodynamic, and I also think they just look really good. I love how these look on this R1S and on the R1T. The aero bit can be removed if you desired. I would just leave it on because I think it looks really good and it makes the truck or SUV more efficient. There are also dark badging is available now. So it replaces the chrome letters of Rivian and R1T and R1S and replaces it with a much darker font. I think it looks really good. I never really even noticed that these were chrome, but seeing the new darker script, I would definitely choose that. It really makes the car look a bit more aggressive. The only other noticeable visual changes are the front and rear light bars, which are no longer completely flush with the vehicle. Instead, there's a little indent on the bottom half of it, and as you can see, they can play little roadside animations to alert vehicles that the car is stopped and direct traffic away like a construction sign. It's pretty cool. You can also see that the turn signals and hazard lights have been moved to the lower fascia so that this DRL can stay on at all times and not turn off when you put your turn signal on. And as you can see, this animation also occurs around back. But everything else happens underneath the car. Rivian removed about 44 pounds of wiring by simplifying computing processes. There are faster chips, there are a whole lot of new cameras and sensors, and there are new battery and motor configurations. R1S and R1T are now available in dual, tri, and quad motor setups. The new tri motor setup is about as fast as the previous quad motor setup, hitting 60 in under 3 seconds and making 850 horsepower. The new quad motor setup can hit 60 in less than 2.5 seconds and has 1,025 horsepower and 1,198 pound-feet of torque. That is absolutely bonkers. These new cars are so fast and so efficient too. The R1S dual motor max pack with the aero rims, which this one is the most efficient electric SUV on sale today in terms of MPGe. The same is true for the R1T dual motor max pack with the aero rims. It's the most efficient electric pickup truck on sale today. These are really, really impressive vehicles. Previously, yellow accents on the brake calipers and badging meant quad motor status for Rivian R1S and R1T, but yellow now means tri-motor status, and that's because the new tri-motor setup has similar performance, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds, to the old quad motor Rivians. The new, even more powerful quad motor R1Ts and R1Ss now have blue badges that even spell out quad, and a little gear guard with his fur blowing back in the wind because these cars are so fast.
All right, second generation Rivian R1S quad motor, 1,025 horsepower, 1,198 pound-feet of torque, quarter-mile run. Let's see what she can do.
Go ahead. Hey, full gas. Keep going. Straighten up a little bit. Keep going. Lift. Okay, pretty good.
But in my opinion, even better than the improved range and the improved performance of R1T and R1S is the time and energy Rivian spent into upgrading the R1S's suspension. About a year ago, when I spent a week in the R1S, I concluded that it was a very impressive vehicle. It corners and it handles like nothing else, but its ride was just too stiff for a roughly $100,000 electric luxury SUV. This new R1S has a much softer suspension. It really is a lot more comfortable. Additionally, these back seats are noticeably more comfortable than the R1S I drove about a year ago. They are just much softer. The whole experience is a lot more luxurious when you want it to be, while not losing any of the mind-blowing performance that R1S and R1T have always offered. I'm really impressed in the upgrades that they specifically made to R1S because it just was too harsh before. This new one has none of those issues. Now, basically everything else in the car, other than a new optional electrochromatic roof that you can get on a Toyota Venza, and I would frankly just rather have a shade for, everything else is software upgrades, which will probably roll out to most existing R1T and R1S customers, which is pretty cool. There's now going to be Apple Music integration, although that is going to take a couple months, but that's really cool, with Dolby Atmos also integrated into the car, which will be really cool. We got a demo of that. It sounds really good. The infotainment system and the instrument cluster, they have a slightly different look to them. There's like updated graphics, and there are new drive mode animations powered by Unreal Engine, just like GMC Hummer EV, although these are distinctly Rivian in terms of their look. There's also an automatic lane change feature where when you put your turn signal on the freeway, it will automatically change lanes for you when it is safe to do so, but you do have to keep your hands on the steering wheel. So it's not that impressive. There is no like truly hands-free driving technology like GMC with Super Cruise and Ford with Blue Cruise or Tesla with Autopilot have. Rivian isn't as advanced in that category, but I'm honestly fine with that because the driving dynamics of this vehicle, especially now, this R1S with this upgraded suspension, are just so impressive. I'd rather a company focus on actually making a car drive well versus making it self-drive well, if you get my drift.
All right, driving the new Rivian R1S, and this is the dual motor max pack, but oh my God, it's still so fast. This car is insane, and the fact that there's the tri-motor and the quad motor on top of this. I launched the quad motor earlier. I only got 0 to 60 in 3.35 seconds, which isn't crazy good, but this car is so good, especially low down in the power, this dual motor max. And the reason I wanted to spend time in the R1S versus the R1T is because the first gen R1S struggled a lot more than the R1T did in terms of driving dynamics. And so Rivian spent a lot of time working on the suspension tuning of this R1S, and wow, has it paid off. This is a far more comfortable vehicle in every single drive mode. Like all-purpose mode, it now definitely feels like a luxury vehicle, and I think the back seats feel a lot more comfortable than the previous gen one. It's just so much better, and it is still so sharp in sport mode. I am still so impressed with basically all elements of this car. My biggest qualm with the first generation Rivian R1S was how it rode. This one rides a lot better, and it still has all of the incredible driving dynamics that the first generation R1S did. So it's really the best of both worlds. This finally feels like a fully established vehicle. Like there aren't any first generation kinks in this car. My biggest complaint with this entire new vehicle is that it doesn't have Apple CarPlay, but the last one didn't, and Rivian has a pretty good native system, much better, I think, than like General Motors' native system in the new R1S. And flooring it here, oh my God, it just launches off the line. It's so good, and the chassis remains really flat in these corners. Like there's some body roll for sure. I'm on the range rims, so there are more athletic wheels and tire combinations to be had. I just really love how this car drives. It finally feels like a luxury SUV, and that's the big takeaway I want people to have from this video, is the R1S feels as expensive as it is. This car starts at $76,000. The R1T starts at $70,000. Tri-motor starts at $100,000 for R1T, and $106,000, I believe, for R1S. They have not released pricing for quad motor yet. It's probably going to be pretty expensive. But dual motor max with 410 miles in R1S, 420 miles in R1T, and still insane performance. That's all you need. Who needs anything more? The only thing that I wish this particular model had was, one, the black accents on the outside. I think those look way better. And then two, the upgraded premium interior, because the upgraded premium interior is really nice. This one unfortunately doesn't have it. It's still a very nice interior in here, but I love some of the color combinations you can get on the premium interior, and I'll try to show you all those.
So that's the second generation Rivian R1S and R1T. A few years ago when R1T launched, it was an incredible product that is just mind-blowing for a first generation product. But Rivian has really gone the extra mile to make this feel like a second generation product and not first gen technology. It feels like a grown-up, established, and just very well-rounded vehicle. I cannot wait to spend more time with this car, and I'm so impressed by what they've been able to do in such a short time frame. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.